highly recommend. Ancient aliens, UFOs, just the discussions about different civilizations. Make sure you're watching something other than, The Simpsons. I want you to watch things that are going to be informing you. You can watch Stephen Hawking and disagree with him. You can watch Deepak Chopra, who I think is a special being on the planet. Um, Make sure that you're informed about what's going on instead of blindly running around and listening to rumors. Because if you understand the procession of life and if you understand the procession of cycles, you know that individually you're in a cycle, your family's in a cycle, your friends are in a cycle, your community, your state, your country, the planet, our solar system. Remember, the stars you're looking at up in the sky, most of them are dead stars. Most of them. We have little sound effects here. That's a pussycat sneezing in the background. We have pussycat visitors here today. Most of the stars that we're seeing have already burned out, and we're seeing the residual light. What we're also discovering is we're seeing real stars, because as our technology improves, so is the ability to visualize what's really going on. So I'm not going to get hysterical about December 21st. I'm living each day as I live it. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to hurry up and rush in the beginning of December to worry about 21 days later. Because if you're living your life with decency and kindness and graciousness, which is my favorite word in the English language, you don't need to worry about if the earth blows up or we get hit by an asteroid or we wake up one day and the UFOs are here. Just worry about what's going on today. If you are doing drugs, stop doing them today. If you drink, stop drinking today. If you smoke, stop smoking today. I recommend being a vegetarian because that's how we were designed. But this is your free choice. This is your free will. It's always been your free will. People say I don't have any choices in life. Yes, you do. You have a choice as to whether or not you get up at a certain time. You have a choice as to whether or not you drive to work in a certain way. You have a choice as to when you go to lunch or how you eat or what you eat. You have a choice as to whether or not you're going to be pleasant to people or if you're going to be rude. So we have choices we don't even think about. The choice we don't have is the calendar. And again, we don't really know if this is 2012. I've said this before on the show. I know some of you can't visualize what I'm talking about, but they changed the calendar. In Europe, when the Pope and the Catholic Church were trying to make sure everybody was on the same page, so to speak, they discovered that England was on one calendar year and France was on another and Germany was on another. So they decided to figure out an approximate date. We could be a year off, we could be 3 years, we could be 15 years off. But there's no denying the fact that the constellation has moved so that we are in the center of the Milky Way right now, looking out. So instead of looking at congestion with all different solar systems, we're looking out at distant stars. It's like a clearing has taken place. So don't worry about December 21st, 2012, and don't worry about any articles coming out telling you not to worry about it, because that's really not important. This is Linda Bennett, and this is Metaphysically Speaking, and we are with you today. We are not visualizing today. We don't have any visuals, rather. We don't have any cameras here because we're trying out a new system. But hopefully the next time we come to you, we will have a camera, and you will be able to see us and make live calls in. And if you want to check out my website, it is Metaspeak, METASPEAK.com. And we are talking about different issues on the website, and we have shows to recommend to you. And you can find them on your own. I mean, if something is about the galaxies or weather or earth changes or anything that is out of the ordinary news, take a look. Inform yourself. And if you're interested in a phone consultation, 727-736-4567, I will give you the information about making a personal appointment. All right, let's go on to another topic. This is very personal to me. It's very personal to all of us because, again, beginning, middle, and end. What happens when you die? And what happens when you lose a good friend? I lost my oldest and best friend last November to cancer. Her name was Mary, and her husband, whose nickname I will not give over the air because he will be furious when he hears this, but Jeff, um, and I are still friends. We became friends in 1970. Think about that. How many people do you know since 1970? How many people are close friends of yours for that many years? And although Mary and I were very different in certain ways, we're also very similar. And my cousins and I have been together, and my adopted daughter and son-in-law and I have been together for years. So when you find people who are special to you in life, and you are special to them as well, that is a beautiful gift. And Mary had BRCA2, which is breast and or colon cancer, that she inherited from her mother. They tend to associate that with the Jewish community. However, her mother was Irish Catholic. And so with all of the different shows now, I love Who Do You Think You Are on NBC on Friday nights. And I think it's Henry Louis Gates on PBS has his show talking about genetics, and he's making discoveries for different celebrities, and they're sending into different companies that do genetic testing, and we're discovering, just where our roots, our genetic roots are. Your genetic roots have nothing to do with who you are as a soul. It has everything to do with the genetics of the line or the lineage that you chose to be born into. And these shows are amazing. They'll show you whether you have, or how much Caucasian or Negroid or Asian blood you have, or Middle Eastern blood you have, and who you might be related to. Fascinating. I'm just fascinated with the whole topic. Again, it has nothing to do with your everyday decisions in life, but it does have something to do with you being born into a particular heritage. It may suit you in the future. It may not. I mean, I never felt connected to my blood family, and I think they didn't feel connected to me. I was pretty sure, especially since I was called all kinds of names. I was bullied as a child. Not only did I have a Polish last name, but, all the Polish jokes that used to take place, but they used to call me the witch, and the weird one, and the smart one, because I was in the genius classes, and so they called us nerdies and brainies and brainiacs and all that stuff. So I actually, though, never related to my family. I do wish that I had my father's cheekbones, which I think, Joan Rivers used to say she would make fun of the stewardesses that their legs started up around their necks. My father's cheekbones started up above his hairline. And my grandfather had these gorgeous, and I said to my doctor recently, I think Mongols invaded Poland once upon a time because they had the most incredibly beautiful cheekbones. And so when you think of who you are and what your karma is, sometimes it does relate to whom you were born, the lineage, the blood lineage, because that's part of your karma. And sometimes it was just a convenience to get you in there. Now, what we're going to do is take a short break, and we're going to make sure that we get our commercials in. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you the story of Mary's journey and my journey with her, and the journey her husband had, and how that ended, and how it has affected me and other people today, and how it might affect you. Stay with us.